What's up, guys? Never Jinx here, coming at you with a Bioshock Infinite summary / analysis because this game is freaking awesome and it deserves to be talked about. So at this point, I just want to go ahead and say that if you haven't played the game yet, turn off your Xbox. I don't want you to watch this video. This game is too awesome to have it spoiled by some analysis or discussion. Everything's available to you on a search engine, but we're going to talk about some things that might glance by you without much notice. But first off, let's just start off with a quick summary of what happened in Bioshock. I'm going to assume if you're watching this, you've already played it, because I'm not going to go into too much detail about the characters and so on and so forth with that kind of thing. But you know, first off, Booker was sent on a mission. Booker's the main character, of course, was sent on a mission to rescue or capture a girl named Elizabeth from this city in the sky. And you know, it turns out that it's really his daughter. Comstock was really him from a different dimension, etc., etc., etc. Now, some interesting things. The twins, or the two weird people that periodically show up throughout the game. They make you flip a coin. They tell you about how you can go between different dimensions. They're actually the same person. They're from separate dimensions, and actually they kind of got intertwined with each other because both of them got screwed over by Comstock at some point, and they decide to help out the good Booker. So yeah, so once you find out, everything happens. You know, you find these lighthouses, and each lighthouse represents a dimension. Every time a choice is made, the dimension opens up. So that's the dimension for that choice. Also, however, when you make a choice, another dimension's made. So it's like a yes or no dimension. So if you asked me if I wanted to go to the mall and I said no, then a dimension would be made for that choice. Also, a dimension would be made for the choice if I said yes. So some people are arguing, they're saying that, you know, why doesn't Booker just never turn into Comstock, or why doesn't he get baptized, or why does he get baptized? Because that's when he turns into Comstock. If he accepts the baptism near the end of the game, he becomes Comstock. He winds up building the city in the sky. If he rejects the baptism, he stays the Booker that we played as. Now, the reason you can't cut this loophole down by just making another decision is because of what I just said. If you make a decision, the opposite decision is made automatically. So Comstock will always come back for his own daughter to be the heir to the throne. And if you notice, the number of dimensions is related to a math function, 2 raised to the n. So for every choice, being n, if you made one choice, then there's 2 options, 2 raised to the 1. If you made 2 choices, then it's 2 raised to the 2, 4 possible options, and so on and so forth. And basically it branches out like a big tree and just spreads. So there are an infinite number of dimensions because there is a feasible, nearly infinite number of choices you can make about different things. So it comes up then, how do we stop this? How do we stop Comstock, the evil Booker? Well, Elizabeth found a way. See, she went back into a lighthouse where Booker was about to accept the baptism. And at that point, she killed him. So any Booker that accepted the baptism would have died. So that would mean Comstock is dead in every dimension that Booker accepted the baptism. Thus, the only dimensions that are left are the dimensions where Booker is a good guy and Elizabeth is still a baby. So it's kind of sad though, because if you think of it like that, then Elizabeth will never exist. The city in the sky will never exist. Comstock will never exist. Elizabeth will not be the same person. She'll grow up as Anna, and Anna DeWitt, which is also what was on Booker's hand in the game AD. That's what that stood for. But yeah, she'll never be the same person. She'll never be the same person, and things will, I guess, transpire a lot differently than they would have if Elizabeth didn't kill Booker. So that could mean a possible DLC. Maybe we'll get to see how Booker turned out without Comstock's intrusion, with him knowing things, and how Anna was raised, and so on and so forth. And this can be proven near the end of the credits. You wake up in your little apartment building and you hear Anna crying, and you know that basically means that that dimension is now safe from Comstock and everything's going to play out nicely. So that's basically a summary of the true underlying theme to the story, you know, how it kind of mixes together and comes together. But this is where it gets really cool, because now you can look back at the other Bioshocks and try to see the similarities, because every Bioshock game is another dimension. It was just another lighthouse where different choices were made. So of course the tonics, the plasmids are all similar. You know, the guns are similar. But Rapture, where the little sisters were, if you notice, the little sisters climbed up into their, we'll call them the little sister vents with the little holes in them. And when the Big Daddies came by, the Big Daddies would knock on them to get the sisters' attention. They would come out, you know, walk with the Big Daddies, whatever. But in Bioshock Infinite, you'll notice that Elizabeth was held in a tower. And, you know, when a song is played, that's when Songbird comes to see her. So it's pretty similar, you know. It's kind of neat to see the parallels. If you also notice, you know, Jack was really Andrew Ryan from Bioshock 1. He crashed his plane near a lighthouse, which, you know, caused him to travel into that dimension, which we now know why. That's why Rapture was there to begin with. And each antagonist in the story, Andrew Ryan and Comstock in Infinite, created a massive city, and that's probably representing their ego or like superseded prowess over all the other characters in the story. You know, they are the supreme leader of everything. You know, in Bioshock 1, the little sisters gathered Eve and stuff, and you could use it to get power and so on and so forth. And then Fontaine, the last boss, was supercharged off of it. He was like the Hulk of the game, and that's similar to how the ending of Infinite was, when Elizabeth acquired all the stored power in her tower that they were draining out. In Bioshock 2, Eleanor and Lamb are the characters of main interest. You know, Eleanor has a possibility to become like the ultimate weapon, the ultimate big sister, etc., etc., and it kind of all plays back to how Elizabeth becomes like super powerful and is able to cut through time and dimensions and rifts and stuff. And yeah, oh, one thing I want to relate back to my mathematical definition is that since there are an infinite number of choices, you'll notice the name of the game is Bioshock Infinite. So that's kind of cool, I think, you know, infinite dimensions. Bioshock Infinite. But other than that, there are many other minor things like religion. Well, I guess that's a major thing. Religion plays a key role in these games, along with the characters' personalities, personas, you know, physical traits. And they're all minor details that some people are doing more research into, but I figured I'd get your whistles wet with some information. You can go do some more research. There's a ton of it out there. People are just like writing up about this continuously. So I'm actually going to start playing 1999 mode, which is when the first Bioshock was made. That's what they named it after. And post commentaries and videos about that. And maybe in those videos we'll go into more detail about similarities and traits throughout the games as we actually play through it. So look forward to that. That'll be coming this weekend probably. And other than that, that's all I have for you. So this is Never Gaming. I'm Never Jinx. Peace.